It's the end of February 2025. Let's look at the changes to the IGVF data portal UI. I'm Forrest Tanaka, and I work on the UI for the IGVF data portal. Okay, let's start with fixed step version table report link. This was a bug. Not there. Let's look at analysis steps. I think any of these should do. Yeah, we have this analysis step versions table, and this link to the report page was going to a search with no results because I had a typo. But now I fixed the typo and you're getting the correct results. The next one, fixed Cypress facet tests. That's sort of an internal issue. We have these end-to-end tests that run when we make changes to the code, and one of them was broken, so I used this ticket to fix it. Okay, 8.37, sync IGVFD and Auth0 login status. Yeah, I had a bug in there where when you log in to the site and then you quit your browser and launch the browser again, you might be logged in, but you're more likely to be either logged out or logged in as this generic user, which is the same as being logged out. So that's all fixed. If you log in, quit the browser, launch the browser again, you'll still be logged in. And there's other sort of unusual cases that are fixed as well. Improve file graph edges and arrowheads. Okay, so let's look at some analysis sets that have a good number of files. Let's see, here's a good one. Let's look at the file graph. Yeah, so before, when you had setups like this, you'd find these exiting edges exiting from the middle of the node, especially for something like this. You'd see these lines coming out all the way back here. That was just the default way that these edges get drawn. I modified that so that they appear to be coming from the right edge of the each node, so that should look considerably better. The other thing is that these arrowheads are drawn at more or less a correct angle. You can see as the angle gets more extreme, it goes a little bit off because the component that draws these arrows doesn't know how much angle there is on these curves. It just knows the difference between one node and another, and it tries to estimate. So but it looks considerably better than it used to, and sometimes it looks quite good. Okay, tissue summary page. This is a whole new page on the site right here under resources, and if you sign in, this will look much more impressive. I'll just look at the signed out version right now. And so you get on the x-axis the strain, the rodent strain, and on the vertical axis you get either the tissue or the organ. And in this column here you get the sex. And so any cell here that's filled in means this particular combination of these three things has data. And if it looks blank like this, then that particular combination of things doesn't have data right now. And if you click on these, so let's say left cerebral cortex, female, cast EIJ, let's click that. You'll go to the search page that corresponds to that. So mus musculus, left cerebral cortex, female, cast EIJ. And yeah, you'll see those selected here as well. Taxa, mus musculus, anything? Yeah, strain, cast. What else? Is that it? Oh, sample, that's right. Left cerebral cortex. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully this table, especially when you log in and when we get more release data, will be very helpful. Let's see, update construct library set and donor displays for new object embedding. That is an internal issue. Sometimes we change the way the database embeds data within other objects, and we have to have the UI keep up with that. So that's all this ticket was. Add description display to analysis set pages. Let's take a look at analysis set pages. Look for something with a description. And here's one. And so before we weren't showing the description, but now we do. So very small change. Okay, that's it for 8.37. 8.38. Add new collection badges. Yeah, so these show up. I don't know if we have any data that shows the new badges, but I'll just show where you can find the badges. Let's see, I suppose on a file set. Let's look for collections. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so it's these badges that appear in the attribution box. Yeah, so we have several new ones defined. Again, I'm not sure if we have any release data that uses them, but at least you'll know where to look for them. And these do link to corresponding searches, so 0.3, 0.3. Add filtered column to file tables in analysis set and prediction set pages. Let's look at analysis set. And something with files. Let's look at this one. Yeah, so this shows this new column for filtered. It shows which files have the filtered attribute set to true. Some will be set to either false or it won't exist in the object, and those will show up as blank. Now, you'll only see this column if there's a mix of filtered and non-filtered in the table. If they're all false or all filtered, then you won't see this column. Okay, next one. Add check files version to file pages. And so let's look at files and just the check files version. I don't think we have a whole lot. Okay, here's one. And so we now show this check files version on the page. If you click it, it opens a new tab to the GitHub repo for check files at the corresponding collection. Corresponding check files version. And if it doesn't have a check files version, you'll see this legacy version of check files, and then it'll just take you to the check files repo, showing you all the versions. Okay, so that's it for 8.38. 8.39, that was just released this week. Show construct library design on file set pages. Let's look at file sets. Let's see if, yeah, okay, here we go. We now, in the samples table, we now have this associated construct library sets column that links to the associated construct library set. And if you don't know, these little statuses, if you hover over them, they show the status right there. So this one's released. Yeah. We also show this new table, associated construct library sets, on all file set pages except construct library sets. And yeah, we also show the library design files if they're available. And they link to the corresponding file pages. Okay, so the computational tools page, this is a preview page. Sorry, it's under resources. Preview page in that this is sort of a plan going forward for how this page will work and look. And so it'll just help us figure out how we want to show this. The cell model page is also under resources. And here it is. It's much like the tissues page, but it shows assays on the x-axis and samples and sexes in the y-axis. And again, wherever there's data, it's filled in. Wherever there's not data, is blank. And of course, clicking this will take you to the corresponding search. So HL1 female and an assay of HICAR So, HL1, female, high car. These are all the matches. We have two tabs here, one for cell lines and one for differentiated specimens. So instead of the samples, we have on the y-axis cellular transformation target, but very similar idea. And lastly, we display gene collection badges and study sets on gene object pages. So let's go back to the gene pages, and let's look for something. Oh, there's a lot of them. I'm just gonna manually enter it here. So we're looking for collections equals star and study sets equals star. Okay. And let's just look at collections and study sets. And okay, that looks pretty good. Yeah, let's look at this one. So we now show the collections at the bottom of this summary panel. And like other collections, it links to the corresponding search. We also show the study set. And if you click on these, it goes to the corresponding search to see all the genes that match that study set. Okay, well, those are all the changes for February 2025. And I'll see you again next month to go over all the changes to the IGVF Portal UI for the month of March 2025.